Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I've kind of got a mock setup here. This is the Coleman Peak 1. If you're interested in seeing this tent or seeing a review of it, I'll link it down below. Great tent, I highly recommend it. But today's video is about the Bluetti EB3A and the 100-watt solar panel. Now, I used to run this setup all the time. Before I had my dedicated Renogy solar panel mounted in the GX, and before I had my 100 amp hour lithium battery, this is what I use to run my IceCo fridge. And right now, this little power station is running my fridge, charging my phone, charging my iPad that I use to do all my editing on, running this fan, charging this light. I mean, this is typically, you know, I don't know how many people are traveling with a fridge, but I mean, this is typically the type of use that this thing is going to see. And I've used this thing for years. It's a little on the smaller side, 268 watt hours, which is about a quarter of the size of my 100 amp hour lithium battery. I think there's about 1200 watt hours and 100 amp hours. I'm sure y'all will crucify me in the comments for getting that wrong. I'm not an electrician, nor am I an electrical engineer. But right now, I hope y'all can see that. I'm getting 95 watts of solar input and I'm outputting 117. Hopefully you can see that. I've got all my DC outputs on, so that's running my fridge. That is my little camp light. That is my iPad, and then on the 120 volt, 600 watt inverter, I have the fan, and that is plugged into my phone. Now the solar panel is rated at 100 watts, and in bright bluebird skies, sun directly overhead, you can get 100 watts out of it. You can get more than 100 watts. Now the EB3A will handle 200 watts of solar input. So you could hook up two of those solar panels together. They're a bookcase style. They fold up. I'll show you that a little bit later. Make sure you hang around for that. Monocrystalline. I mean, all your big manufacturers of these type of solar generators, they're all using the same technology. There are some big units out there. I'm talking like 8,000 watt hours. They also weigh quite a bit. Some of them have wheels. They're huge. This thing is small. It's compact. I think it is an absolute powerhouse for what it is. And for the price, I think you can still buy these brand new for like 200 bucks. I mean, I'm not going to tell you what, you know, what my solar system and my GX 470 cost, but it was a little more than $200. I just wanted something permanent, something hardwired that I didn't have to mess with. But if you want a power bank and a solar panel to carry to your campsite, set it up, leave it for a day or two, as long as you've got full sun, I don't see anything wrong with the EB3A. Because I'm so useless at remembering numbers, I have the stats for this thing, the specs. Let me dive into that real quick. So like I said, it's 268 watt hours, lithium iron phosphate, at least 2,500 cycles, up to 80%. That is fantastic. 600 watt AC inverter, 1,200 watt surge. Now, full disclaimer, this morning, I wanted to see, because I never tried it, I wanted to see if my Keurig would run off the AC input and it would trip the breaker every time. So I think it's the initial draw. If I could get it past the initial where, you know, the heat's coming on, I think it would be fine. But air fryers, Keurigs, I don't think you're going to be able to run anything like that off of this unit. Dual AC outlets. USB-C port is 100 watts. That's huge. I'm a big fan of USB-C. I wish everything could be USB-C. There's two USB-A ports. 3 amp. You also have a wireless charging pad, a QI, on the top. So the solar input is 200 watt max, MPPT controller. The one thing I do not like about this unit is I think there's got to be at least 8 watts of solar for the MPPT controller to acknowledge that you have a panel hooked into this device. If you try to plug it in and it's cloudy, you're probably going to get an error message. There's nothing wrong with the unit. It's just that it's not seeing enough solar input to turn on that controller. It's kind of a headache, if I'm honest. Charge time 0 to 80% in 40 minutes using your 120 watt wall outlet. So you can plug this directly into a household outlet. Charges super fast. There is an app with it. It does work fairly well. I remember it kind of locking up every once in a while, but it wasn't terrible. And you have basically a total of 9 outlets. So 2 USB-A, 1 USB-C, 1 12 volt, 120 watt input, your solar input, and 2 120 AC 600 watt max outlets. The inverter is also a pure sine wave inverter. That's always what you want. The form and functionality of this thing, because of the shape, it's pretty much a rectangle. It's square. It's got flat sides, flat bottom, flat top. You can pack it in places. And I can't tell you how important that is. Some of them have the like molded handle onto the top. You can't stack anything on top of it. That alone creates a headache if you're trying to pack a car, trying to get it into a tight space. So right now we're kind of in a shady spot. Let's see what the solar input is. $97. So right now we're pretty much breaking even. I'm bringing in as much solar input as I am discharging. You know, it's a great little unit. I can't, you know, that was kind of my first foray into a solar panel, a battery bank. I bought it when I bought my fridge quite a few years ago. And like most things, you know, my needs evolved. I wanted something standalone, something hardwired, something that would just be there all the time. But I will say this thing has been fantastic. I mean, it's 90 degrees right now. I'm in this nice big tent. I've got my fan on. I got my fridge full of cold drinks. I got my iPad charging. I've got my phone charging. Not a bad deal. And for 200 bucks, you know, I feel like it is a very, matter of fact, let's check the price on this. So right now on Amazon, I just looked, you can get just the EB3A, so just the power bank, $187, which is crazy. That's absolutely insane. Add in the solar panel, the 100 watt solar panel that I have over here, 350 bucks. Now, the solar panel is a suitcase style, so it folds up. I'm sure you've seen those before. The legs on it are adjustable, so you can follow the sun as it moves through the sky, and that's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to adapt to the position of the sun when you're using something like this. So if it's early in the morning, low in the sky, late in the afternoon, low in the sky, or midday where it is high, you can physically follow it, move it around, and make sure you're getting the most of the solar that you have available. It's really not that big of a deal. I never really found it an issue. I know when we would go to the coast and I would be surf fishing, have my fridge running. If you have a roof rack or something like that, I would put it up on the roof just where my Renogy solar panel is now. And it would just stay there all day. And that was a good enough position to where I was pretty much maxing out the solar input that the panel would allow for. It is small, but I feel like at an entry-level price, somebody that you know, maybe is trying to figure out what they want, what they need. Maybe they're not going to run a whole bunch of stuff. If you just want something to charge a phone, charge an iPad, maybe run a fan, it's great, and it's going to last a long time because you're not drawing a whole lot of power. I got my fridge out of the GX. I plugged all this stuff in today to just show you what it is capable of, what kind of results you could anticipate. I keep it around because it's a good thing to have. Even if you're not camping, even if you're a van lifer, maybe you just keep this in your house for those rare occasions. Maybe the power goes out. Maybe you want to make sure that you always have a way to keep your devices charged. You can stay in contact with loved ones, that kind of deal. And because it is small, because it is mobile, you can take it anywhere. I mean, you can literally take it anywhere. I really can't say enough good things about it. I've had no issues out of the brand. You know, the EB3A, 2 thumbs up from me. It's been fantastic in every situation that I've put it in. And I think for the money, it can't be beat. I think it's a really great option. And if you're interested in it for running something like a fridge, just remember that your fridge is going to draw more power as you're cooling it down. So right now it is drawing as much power as it will. I've got it on max. It was like 85 degrees when I plugged it in this morning because I don't keep it running all the time when it's in the GX. And so right now it's pulling max wattage in order to get the temperature down as fast as it possibly can. And if I had it full of groceries and it was cold, it pulls very little power. So you know, if you're looking at something like this to run a fridge, and it is a decent quality fridge, these Ice-Co's, they have a C-Cop compressor, high build quality. I've been very happy with it, but it runs pretty efficient. It doesn't pull a lot of wattage. I hope this video wasn't too long. I wanted to be thorough. You know, really, it's been so long since I've used this thing, I actually kind of forgot how good it is. So, you know, thanks for watching. If you're liking the videos, if you're liking the content, if you're interested in gear reviews, you know, gear reviews from somebody who actually has used these products for years and years, subscribe. Put a comment down below. Give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. Keeps me motivated, and you know, keeps me pumping out videos. So as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.